Hello. Whoa, I'm super small. Let's make, okay, there we go. Hi, welcome back. This is 6-4, and we are talking about calculating the area between curves for two different functions. This video is going to specifically talk about utilizing a calculator to help you do that, and I'm going to be utilizing a TI Nspire CX. If you have a CAS version, you can cruise on over to Mr. Myesis's videos. He does his with a CAS, but I'll be utilizing the CX because that's what most of my students have. Okay, all right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and look at this example. And here they want us to set up integrals for the total area of the regions located between the two curves as shown. We may use a calculator, which means you should use a calculator, and we have the two functions. So what they want here is they want this area between the two curves. So notice that for the two functions, okay, and what we have here is f of x is shown in red, and g of x is, whoa, not purple, it's blue. It is blue, and I want to go ahead and find the integral. So the integral is going to be equal to the top minus the bottom, right? That's how we find the area in between the curve. So notice for the first region over here on this side, right? The function f of x is on top. So I'm going to have f of x minus g of x. Okay, that's for the first portion. Okay. Dx. Okay. Plus, and I'm going to add the other area, so it's going to be, and over here, notice on this side that g of x is on top, right? The blue side, or the blue curve is on top, so that's g of x minus f of x dx. Okay, and that's the integral that we're going to set up in our calculator. So we're going to graph, and we're going to be utilizing our calculator. The other portion that's essential to this is I need to know what are my bounds. Where am I integrating from? So notice the functions intersect here and here at 0. So the upper bound for the first function is 0. The lower bound for the second not function, integrand or integral is 0. And then I have this portion right here. So I need to know what are those two functions. So we're going to go cruise on over to the calculator. Boop. Okay, and what we want to do is we want to open up a graph. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to label the first function that we have, which is f of x is equal to x cubed minus x squared. I'll plot it, and there's my function. And then I'm also going to add another graph, okay? So I'll just double click, it pops up, and I'm gonna label that, this one's gonna be g of x. So negative x squared plus 4.1 x. I'll hit enter, there's my function. I'm gonna pause the video, I'm gonna set up my, well, I don't have to pause it, I can just set up menu, settings. I'm gonna go ahead and look at my window. I want to adjust this window so it looks kind of similar to what our graph was. In our window settings, roughly -3 to 3, and then from about -12 to they do what? I don't know. We'll look at maybe 5. Okay, and hey, there is our graph. So we're going to use our, Control Z, undo. We're going to utilize our calculator to help us find the intersection points. And I might need to drag. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to go menu, analyze graph. And again, I'm trying to find those intersection points. So analyze graph, intersection, and I'm going to take the lower bound and then the upper bound, okay? And I get this value here, so negative 2.02, and I have a feeling my settings are not at float. So I want to go to document settings, float, let's go float 8, okay. And hold on, let me pause this and fix my settings. Sorry, I'm supposed to go here, menu, settings, and notice how it's at float 3. I want it to be I don't know, float 6 is probably fine. Okay, and then here I get my values. Okay, so that's going to be negative 2.025. It looks like. So negative 2.025 will be the lower bound, and then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to analyze the function for the intersection of this point, and hey, look at that, 2.025 also. Okay, so I'll go ahead and enter that. So 2.025. Okay, and what we want to do is we want to utilize our calculator to calculate this for us. Okay, so I'm going to add a page, and I'll add a calculator, and I'm going to show you a trick here. So I'm going to open up a integral. Okay, I want the integral from negative 2.025 to 0 of f of x minus g of x. So note, these functions were already stored in your calculator, so I can click the VAR button here. And notice how two functions are popped up. Well, our first function was f of x, so f of 1 of x minus, now I'm going to subtract the other function, f of 2, which was g of x. And notice I'm integrating with respect to x. Okay, and I'm going to add, and then I'll repeat the steps. So I'm going to drop in my second integral of, okay, and my bounds are 0 to positive 2.025. And then notice on this one, right, our functions were flipped. It's g of x minus f of x, because in region 2 over here, our function g of x was on top. So this is going to be f2 of x, which is g of x, minus f of x. And another thing you can do too is you can literally punch in f1, and notice how that pops up, and then I need to enter the variable f1 of x, and I'm going to go over dx. We'll hit enter, and hopefully our answer will pop up. It does. Hey, 8.405. 8.405. So this is actually not approximately, it is, well, actually we're going to round, so approximately 8.405. That is how you utilize a calculator to calculate area between curves. Catch you next time. Peace.